starting up our second operation, I'm guessing, from the looks of it. We have to fight off some of these Imperial squad that appeared in the town of Brule. We do know that Alicia and Welks are going to be involved. Maybe we'll have another backup squad members like we did in the previous introduction. They've taken over the area of the plaza, and we're going to come in from the side. They're going to be... there are conveniently sandbags already in the town, even though everyone was evacuating. It'd be kind of smart maybe for a town to, if it's expecting military to be rolling in, to start setting up fortifications ahead of time, as opposed to waiting for them to appear before you start setting up your defenses. And we just need to eliminate the enemy leader. Potentially a lot of hidden enemies and that won't show up on the command mode view. But I'm guessing if we are in action mode, we'll have a lot more opportunity to look around as we're running about. If either of our characters die, or if we take too long, we lose.
Okay, let's begin. It's up.
So we're not actually trying to fend off the entire army, we just need to kill their enemy leader. Strike the head of the serpent.
Our target is the Imperials
body
in
will
Mill
die.
Plaza. Focus on taking down... Breaking the chain of
Breaking the chain
command
of
should
command,
at least
buy some time for everybody to run away. That makes sense.
Alright, I got it.
If we can't defeat them wholly, we'll just delay them so we can recover and retreat. So it'll be interesting to wonder if we can actually see where the commander is. About damage. You heal a small amount each turn? No, that's realistic. If a unit's taking heavy damage, don't push them, stay back, heal up. If a unit gets to 0, he's in critical. You can't help somebody who's in critical. So it's interesting, they don't actually present it as death. So you have Welkin, Town Watchman. I wonder if that's the same Town Watchman as we had before. Who knows? Town Watchman has significantly less health than either of our two named characters. We got a mark here. I'm guessing maybe that's the location of the enemy commander. And we've got a couple of scouts. I don't like how you aren't able to view the terrain from this point of view. I mean, you're given a little bit of information about terrain. Maybe these are the sandbags, and you've got buildings. But some of the things are unclear as to what they are. Like this mark here, and then there's another one there. Doesn't indicate what those mean jumping into it. But you know, this is still pretty early on in the game, and if it presents it in a way that is, you know,
here we go,
isn't necessarily detrimental to you if you aren't aware. So wow, those guys are firing around really quickly. Sight lines. If I sight an enemy, I get to see a little line. It points you to the enemies, gives you a guide where enemies are and where they'll be safe. So that gives you an opportunity to kind of pick which cover you're going to be standing under. Go ahead and crouch here and take a shot at this closer. We still get more tutorial. I've already been attacking enemies. Yeah, so we have an option to target lock. The crosshairs turn red when you have a clear line of sight. Use the guideline to see if they are blocking the shot. To kill gives us some idea of the number of shots that we will need to take to kill it. Versus person is good, versus armor is no. Symbol will indicate the effectiveness. Weapon is effective as a circle. Triangle will be slight damage. X is ineffective. So area, whether the shot will, number of rounds fired per attack. There's a lot of information to shove into this tutorial here, but wholly necessary. 5 rounds will hit. Sorry, 5 rounds will fire, and the 2 kill gives you an indication of the number of hits you'd need. So it's clear that if I just fire right now, they have shots of only 5, but it's going to take 7 to kill him, so I am not actually going to be able to defeat this enemy with my 1 character unless I do something. Misses or hits. Yeah, so if we want to try and line up a headshot or a critical attack in order to reduce the number of shots needed, which we did, it gives us an indication that it's a good idea to do that. You got 2 headshots out of that. We'll go ahead and have him run over to the next cover here and end his turn. Took a lot of damage there, and good 51 damage just from moving as these enemies fired at him. So we'll go ahead and move on to our next named character here, Alicia. We'll move her forward. I don't think it's going to be a good idea to continually move characters forward at this point. Keep crouching. Fire. So 9 shots to kill this guy. Did not get any criticals out of that. But we have both of our characters here. And there's the counterattack from that guy. So now we're done with that one. And we'll move up our 3rd and final character, the Town Watchman. See if I can finish off this thing. Crouch behind there. See if I can... Yeah, so it's going to take you 4 shots to kill him. So as long as I hit, which I did, finish him off. And now we have the rest of this character's movement to be able to move forward, which we found another enemy. So we're going to go ahead and stop right there and stay in cover. Might be a bad location, as that enemy can kind of potentially move around the corner there and open up on our relatively exposed Town Watchman. And the enemy commander has 5 commander points, though that scout moving took a lot of damage since he was in line of sight from all 3 of our units, and actually died from the movement and then the counterattack by the guy that he attacked. So that was maybe a bad decision by the AI there. And we have this scout who's going to stay completely in the open and choose to attack from non-cover. Almost dead. So we know we have 1 scout that is just around the corner there, and any number of potential other enemies. So I think I'm going to move forward some of my characters here in the back.
Moving out.
I'll move the Alicia forward, stand her up, and run her up to this sandbag here, which should be in line of sight of that scout, which it is. And we'll go ahead and finish him off.
Now.
And there's no counterattack since he died in 1 round of fire. We'll go ahead and use the rest of her movement to scout out a little bit as to what else is around. And we found several enemies. Alright, we found 3. No, do not go over... do not do that. That is a bad idea. Alright, we're going to stop her right there and then move forward our other units who have the rest of their actions. And we see we have 2 enemies here. So I'm thinking, since we have these 2 enemies here that are kind of out here in the open, if I get a character to this part, I would potentially be able to flank them and
ready to go.
Have a better line of fire upon them. So I'm going to move around. I know that there is a sandbag over there to which I am heading, and thankfully there is not an enemy around the corner that I didn't see before. So now we have just a clear open shot, go for the headshot, and finish him off.
Yes!
Yeah! You! I killed you! That is, I guess each character has their own victory pose that they get to take anytime that they defeat something. So we got 1 guy left, another scout. Still unclear as to where the commander is, who is the objective of this battle. But I do have this 1 guy left, and now I'm trying to remember if this guy was behind cover on that sandbag or not. I believe I'll have enough action points to run up, check, and then decide where I want to move him. Yeah, so he can move to here. He'll have a good line of fire onto this guy. See if I can get a headshot, and I did not. So that might put me in a potentially bad location for my Watchman, as he is a little bit further forward than I want him to be, but I can still move him back a bit, since I still have some movement points. It looks like there's actually enemies reload during their turn, so if you want to maybe draw fire and move while they're reloading, it would be potentially a really good idea. So we'll see if the commander now has a large number of commander points, but since that unit was in line of fire of all three, he gets some significant damage there as he tries to back up. See if I am able to not finish him off during the counterattack, so it leaves him in as a threat. But since this one's actually colored differently than the others, I just realized, I wonder if this is actually the commander without actually having it being named something different. And it seems like it might have been, as that was so that was the end of the battle there. We'll see how I did in terms of scoring once, I guess, this cutscene finishes. So it did give you an introduction as to what the rewards of doing well. You get more experience and money from doing really well, but it didn't give you any indication of what money and experience does for you. And I don't think that any of my units have any way of dealing with this tank, so I'm expecting now we're just gonna continue with this cutscene, and my units are gonna run away. And wow, that is very unfortunate for these characters. I have no way of fighting back against this large armored unit, and it has quickly turned into a rout. Though we did learn before that battle that the Empire had we're actually still going to continue this operation, and wow, okay, so the commander has a significant amount of commander points remaining, and I'm somehow supposed to defeat this tank with my 3 characters and their wimpy little rifles. That is really bad. Okay. So tank fires rocket. Rocket kills people. And it still gets another turn. Just rolling around. There's this, your attention is drawn to the back side of the tank here that has that glowing piece. So this is a little interesting. The tank decided to move, expose its backside, and then the commander's turn ended. So we're given a little bit of anxiety over the tank firing and just plowing into the health. Our Watchman took significant amount of damage, and Welkin took a decent amount of damage as he was close to the explosion as well. But then the tank decided to move,
but we should probably pull out
and expose its backside, ignoring us, leaving us potentially an option to fire into its backside.
It's too narrow for a tank to follow.
At whatever that generator was. So we'll see if we're given the option to take that approach.
And
though Alicia is suggesting that we run.
One blast from that turret and it's over.
Yeah, one blast from the turret and it's over. It's pretty clear from the amount of damage that it does. So we got Welkin reach the destination. Failure if either character dies or 20 turns pass. Destination is over there. That is pretty far to run. We've got 4 enemies, sorry. Just looking at it looks like a sideways 3. I'm guessing it's probably actually supposed to be like binoculars or something. It's really unclear as what that symbol is supposed to be. It's clear that the tank is a different symbol. So maybe this is an infantry symbol and this is an armor symbol. Would be my simple guess. But before we get started, we'll go ahead and cut this episode or this part here.